Welcome back. We're still with Honorable Zainab, and of course, we have so many questions for you. Yes, many questions. Because when it comes to women in politics and leadership, I'm very passionate about it because I believe that there are lots of people, especially women, who are natural born leaders. But I notice that sometimes what they lack is encouragement because there's something fundamentally wrong. Sometimes when you meet women, you find out that maybe when growing up, they're already intimidated into this pattern of don't look up, don't say this, don't speak out, except for a few of us, which now becomes controversial because it's like,
They
okay,
say
maybe
that
you're
you have.
rude, you're proud. So how would you advise women who come from this kind of background, yet they have that leadership quality to break out of the mold and be able to take their place? Because we need all hands on deck.
Okay. I like what you just said because, for women like us who are outspoken and, strong willed, we're sometimes perceived as overbearing, loud, rude. But, as a growing child, my mother used to tell me that I had always been an assertive child and I always knew what I wanted. And, when I want to do something, I would rather fail. I'd rather go ahead and do it and fail. Now, for women who are intimidated, not even because anybody is saying anything, but because of their backgrounds, they just believe that they cannot do it. I think it's best for all of us to break out of our shells and just do it afraid. Now, if you do not do it afraid, how would you know how you're faring? It brings us back to what I've been saying. Now, there's no problem with failing. There's no problem. Ignore the noise, ignore the sound, ignore everything. Look for a support system. I have a very strong support system. I'm surrounded, I'm sure you already know, I'm surrounded with very super strong supportive women, from my mother to my sister to my friends to my staff, everybody around me. I attract a certain kind of a certain kind of people, so even if you come to my circle and you're a bit unsure about yourself, being around us for a few days, you will break out. So identify somebody who is available, who you can look up to, who you can talk to, who will put the right words in your head. And aside that, you can look up strong women who have done stuff against all odds, who have come out against all odds. People wouldn't support you. I've had people say to me, "Why are you doing this? Why are you doing politics? You shouldn't. Just why are you doing it? Are you sure you want to do it?" I had people tell me, "Oh, you're from Edo North. Edo North politics is brutal." And at the end of it all, and I found it quite interesting. So, there are a lot of naysayers who will tell you, "Don't do it." There are a lot of people who have had ugly experiences, but you shouldn't say because other people have had ugly experiences and then you will put aside your potentials. You never know. You might be that one person that, will make a difference. I was talking to one of the political leaders from my area and he said, "Oh, I like the way you speak. You make a good leader. And even though you don't get this time, like you look like somebody who will choose to lead us. So if I didn't try, if I said, oh, they said I shouldn't buy the form. Oh, they said I shouldn't do it. Oh, I'm afraid. I wouldn't have done it. So do it afraid. If you can believe in yourself, whatever anybody feels shouldn't matter. That's what I do. They all know me. Those around me know me. I'm the most important person. I'm the most important person in my life. Yes. So as long as I can tell myself, Zainab, you can do this. You can do this. Like, even if people are encouraging, I need to tell myself. And once I sit with myself and convince myself that I can do it, I don't think there's anybody on the surface of this earth that will make me not do it. So for women like that, I think convince yourself. If you feel unsure, look for somebody around you. Reach out to people. There are lots of people who are accessible. I'm sure if somebody reaches out to you, you're going to be available to speak. If anybody reaches out to me, I'm available to speak. And there are a lot of other women who are willing to help, young, old women who want to do this. So yeah, just damn whatever it is anybody has to say, really, and just do it. As long as you're doing it for a good cause and there's a conviction, you feel right about it, then just do it. It's hard, but do it afraid. Yeah, do it afraid.
Now let's take a look at politics in Africa, especially when it comes to women. Now we're not going to be quoting percentages, but do you think that we have enough women in leadership? I know of recent in Kenya, yes, they're saying that it looks like with this coming election is going to happen for them because they have a lot of women at the moment at the polls. But do you think we're seeing enough women?
We aren't. I feel like this whole 35% affirmative is just on paper. I truly do not see it happening, to be honest. Because even with the current primaries that we just finished, I would have thought that they would have made certain numbers mandatory to say out of every 10 women that, that is elected, out of every 10 candidates, we should have 2 women, and then they will have to sit down and decide. But even a lot of state first ladies came out to protest to say, oh, at the state level, to give 1 or 2 women House of Assembly slots. They didn't get it. Assembly, not reps, not Senate, House of Assembly, they didn't get it. So you see, this whole 35% and giving women the chance, I do not see, especially in Africa where we are, I don't really see it happening. Maybe in a few years to come, but I don't really see it happening now. Because our men are chauvinistic. Even the women that you want to lead actually believe that they are better led by the men. So how many people really want you to attain such positions? So I don't see it happening. Over time, maybe with the coming generations, maybe if we elect few leaders now who will now fight for, those things in the future. But where we are now, with the coming elections, I don't see that happening, to be honest.
I was speaking to a man, I think in politics, he's also someone that does advocacy. And part of the question I put to him was, what's the role of men? Because honestly, whether we like it or not, we have more men right now. So, in the discussion, he kept saying, oh, why would you want men to help you? And the question is, how do we help ourselves if we're not there? So what do you say in terms of advocacy when it comes to the men? Do you think we have men who are supportive of women? Do you think we can exploit that or work on that kind of relationship to help us, have a springboard?
Sometimes it's actually better to have a man advocating for more women, because the women at the top really do not want, some of them really do not want more women coming up to, when there are women at the top, it's because there's a few of them. So they feel like the spotlight is on us. If more women come up, the spotlight will be shared. So they really do not want you to come up. But the men would actually there are a few men who will make a case for you because they don't see you as a competition. So in terms of advocacy, I think it would do us well if we have more men advocating for women because the women at the top, they just say it for the books. They say it so that they say it to look good, but deep down, women, in my own opinion and with what I've seen, I don't think women really advocate for other women to come to the top. They come out, they say it, but do they really mean it? I don't think they really mean it. Most women see you as a competition. Simi said, woman no like woman, man no like woman. Like, people do not like women. So your fellow woman is fighting against you. So I'd rather we look up to the men and beg the men to advocate for us, because I've heard men, for me on this journey, the men supported me the most. Apart from the women in my team, but at that level, the men on the political level, they showed me more support than the women. The men held my hands. The women tried to make money, but the men held my hands and said, no, you can do this. This is how to do it. This is how we will do it.
But do you think there's something that can be done? Because, like I said when we were discussing yesterday about the fact that there's something fundamentally wrong. It's almost like it's a growing thing where you feel like the other person is your competition because there's only a little space for the women up there. When you're in a space, I remember, some of those NGO settings, you see like 20 men on the leadership and you see 2 women. So it's almost like automatically there are 2 slots for the women. So the women already naturally feel like they can only take 2 of us. If we are more than that, they feel like we're a threat. So do you think there's anything that we can fundamentally change, even if not in this generation, the people coming up?
Yeah, it's to teach our girls that the more the merrier. I currently do that with my daughter. I encourage her to support her friends. I also do it. She sees me and she sees all the women around me and she listens to how I speak highly of them, so she learns. A lot of people grow up knowing and believing that the other woman is my enemy. The other woman is a threat. And that's the beginning of all of these issues. When a few of us who are good get to the top, it is now for us to lift other women and bring other women to the top where we are. I will tell you another story of how an opportunity came for me, and I took a woman who I thought needed the opportunity more than I did at that time. Now, how many women would do that. She wasn't my family member. She wasn't anybody close to me. But I just looked around me and saw she would need it the most. So if we have more women like us, when you attain certain positions, just whatever it is, that thing will come to you that this woman is here to steal my shine. No, you shut it out. Yes, you're a human being, and so those thoughts will come. But when those thoughts come, shut it out. Because when you're helping a woman, you don't know where this woman will be beneficial to you in the future. You don't know if this woman will be if you help a woman, you don't know if your daughter or your child will come up and need somebody else to help them in the future. So put people in places, put women in leadership positions, so that in the future, when other women need help, those women can also help other women to climb. So it's like a chain. One woman, irrespective, even if there are times when you want to help somebody and your mind says, oh, what if this woman comes to block you out? So it's just for you to know that whatever happens, whatever the outcome of this, I'm going to help this woman, and expect nothing in return. Just have an open mind towards it and help your fellow women.
Okay, thank you. Definitely we're going to take a break and then we'll be right back. We're still on Women with Politics and Leadership with Olawumi Heavens, and of course it's an honor to be here with Honorable Zainab. Now, we've come to the end. When you're having an interesting and inspiring conversation, time just flies. But I want to ask you, what's that one thing you would tell women out there or girls out there in terms of leadership and politics?
Not to sound like a broken record, I'll say do it afraid. Whatever it is you feel like you want to do, just do it. If you feel you want to be change, you want to see, do it. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. Yeah, do it afraid.
Thank you very much for that word of wisdom. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you.
We've finally come to the end of the program, and like she said, until I come your way again, do it afraid.